Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well and welcome to today's training in which I'm going to talk about work that you need to do before before you start looking for a new job or before you start talking to your boss about what's your next career step. Essentially, what is the pre-work before you start communicating with others what you want to do? The reason why I want to talk about this today is because while coaching my clients, while reading the material online, while I'm going through different resources, I see a lot of talk about how to apply for a job, what to do, where to go, all this kind of strategy thing, but not often, or maybe never, did I see people teaching about the pre-work that has to be done before you actually start looking for a job. Now, what happens is if you don't do this work, what happens is that you're going to essentially come to the point where you feel all over the place, because what starts happening is you start applying all around. Or if you're not looking for a job, but you're looking to maybe get promoted within your company, or you are looking into gaining more responsibilities and thinking about your next step, what happens is if you don't do this work that I'm going to teach you today about, you're going to eventually come to the point where you're lost, where you're confused, where you don't know how to move forward because you aren't 100% sure on what is the next step you want to take. Okay, so what I want to teach you today is how to do this pre-work, how to set the foundation for yourself so that you know that once you start looking for a job, or once you have that conversation with your manager, or once you need to talk about yourself, about presenting yourself, once you're in any kind of such a situation, that you have a clear picture. Okay, so let's deep dive. Now, this kind of information that I'm going to talk about today is also something that you can find in the job application checklist that I've shared with the group. I'm going to put it, I will try to put it in comments. Last time I tried to upload the document and I wasn't able to do that. So I'm going to try to put it in comments. If not, I'm going to create an additional post where you can find that checklist and you can also go through it. It's literally one step at a time on the exercises that I invite you to take. Okay? So again, this is for you if you're looking for a job, but also if you are keen on doing a bit of research on, or thinking really on, what is your next step? How do you see yourself? How do you come across in front of others? So we're going to do this work together now. Okay, so I have listed a couple of activities here on the board behind me. I hope you can see it. I hope it's clear to read, but I'm going to obviously walk you through each of them. Okay, so the first that I put here is I invite you to list down all your achievements so far. All right, so anything that you achieved so far throughout your career, we're talking about career here, right? Obviously. So everything that you've achieved so far in your career, anything at all that comes to your mind, no matter how small that achievement might seem to you. You know, sometimes I hear, yeah, but it's not so important. Everything is important. Write it all down. Everything, any kind of achievement you achieved individually, in team, one-on-one with your colleagues, with your manager, how you improve different processes, how you contribute to the company, how you went out of your comfort zone, how you, any single thing that comes to your mind, write it down. All right, this is for your eyes only. You don't have to share it with anyone, so you can write any single thing. I really want you to not think about that you're bragging about something, or that you are thinking you're the best or whatever. It's not about that. We are talking about what you've achieved so far. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to be very specific. You want to be very factual. Okay, being a great team player is not factual, right? It's not very specific. Specify it even more. What does it mean to be a great team player? How did that proven to be really the case in your case? I'm just giving you an example, right? Or one of the best sales team members. What does it mean? Give me some facts, be specific. Or one of the best financial representative. Again, what does that mean? You want to be specific. You want to put maybe numbers inside if you have any. You want to clearly state to yourself and later on to other people, how is that true? Okay, so anytime you're being vague, we want to change that to being specific. So the question you want to keep asking yourself is, what does this mean? Okay, or how can I make that very clear? Or how can I, what fact, what number, what statement can I use to make this more specific? All right, and you want to write these achievements over and over again, because I know that a lot of people, so I work mostly with finance professionals, right? Finance professionals in particular have this idea of maybe not being so comfortable when it comes to communicating on their achievements so far. And this is not only the case with finance people, right? But in general, all of us have this a bit of blockage when it comes to talking about ourselves, right? So that's why being specific, using facts is going to make it easier, because these are facts. You're not inventing anything. These are literally facts, okay? And you want to write this down and talk about these achievements as much as you can, because more you do it, more comfortable you're going to become talking about them. All right. So that's the first exercise. What I really love to do with my clients, I always invite them to do this exercise for like a month. All right. So every morning, for example, with your coffee or before you go to sleep or whatever, you want to write down a couple of those achievements. You want to keep talking about it, writing it and writing it and writing it down from different angles. You want to think about also, what did my team members tell me, or what did my manager tell me, right? You want to keep talking about it, because one thing is to talk about it in your mind. The other thing is to verbalize it, right? So what happens is that if you don't practice that, you're going to come in front of somebody and they're going to ask you something and you have a great answer in your head, but you just cannot verbalize it, right? So this exercise is going to help you with that. Okay. The next thing that I have here, you want to get clear on your strengths and areas of improvement. So areas that you can improve. Now, I know that a lot of people love to use different strength finders, different tests online, and so forth. Sure, go ahead and do it. But what I would encourage you to do before is to list down those strengths and those areas to improve that you think are true for you. Okay, so before you go and do the test, do that exercise for yourself and then do the test. All right, I really want you to think, right? This is thinking work we are doing over here. So it's not about just going click, click, click. This is the test, right? But I really want you to think for yourself. Another thing that I want to point out here is that what I see also a lot is all these tests are great, etc., as long as you don't use them to kind of limit yourself. All right. So as long as you don't use them in a way that, oh, well, tests told me that I'm this and this, so I must be this and this, right? Think about it for yourself. Challenge yourself. Ask yourself, how is this true for me? Or how is this untrue for me? Okay, you want to think about it. And again, you want to think about examples for those strengths and for those areas to improve. Okay, so if you think that one of your strength is in communication skills, great. Write it down and think about what specific examples are backing up my thought about being great in communication. All right. When thinking about areas to improve, this is not for you to feel bad, to beat yourself up and to be like, oh no, how can I be so bad? Right? But this is for you to see, all right, so this is the area that I can improve. And then you want to think about, how can I improve that? Right? So what is kind of my strategy to improve that area? Why would I want to improve it? What value will it bring to me to improve that specific area? Okay. All right, so let's move on. The next thing that I have here is what value do you bring? So this is specific again if you're looking for a new job, but also if you're about to take a new project, or if you're about to talk to your manager about the promotion, or if you're whatever, like even if you are talking to your colleagues about a specific idea that you want them to kind of hop on board with you, you want to think about what is the value that I'm bringing or of that idea. So again, you can start doing this exercise by listing down what is your value. Let's stick with what is your value in terms of job search process, right? So what is the value you bring to the company? Why would I want to hire you, right? Like what about you is special, is unique? And sometimes here I hear answers such as like, yeah, well, nothing, you know, I just have a regular position and whatever. No, no, each of us is unique in their own way. Each of us, we have our own story, our own background, our own experience, our own skills, knowledge, education, and so on. So there's no one on this planet that's you and who has exactly that set of everything that you have. So don't allow your mind to go into, well, I have nothing special. Of course you have something special. You are special. You are unique. Okay, so of course it's easier for your brain to tell you, well, I don't know, or nothing special. It's easy to say, right? It's an answer that doesn't require you to take any ownership, or it's an answer that doesn't require you to think further, but we don't want that. We want you to think further, right? That's why we're here. We're here to think further, to challenge ourselves. So you want to think again, given my background, story, experience, knowledge, education, people, environment, all that, what am I bringing to the table, right? Why would you hire me? Think about that. Write these things down again. Because one thing is to be answering these questions in your mind, all right? The other thing is to writing those things down and seeing them from a different perspective. Trust me, it's such a huge difference, right? Sometimes, just if you think about it on the side note now, on the side note, sometimes we create a story in our mind and we're like, oh no, I don't know how to move forward, and this sounds horrible and difficult and this and that. And then you talk to somebody about it, or you write it down and you're like, well, that's not even that bad, right? And what happened is that if you stay in your own mind, you're just making the story bigger and bigger and bigger. And of course, that eventually it's like, I don't even know how to solve it. So you want to get it out of your mind. You want to talk to somebody. You want to write it down, whatever. You just want to process it. You want to go through it, okay? Rather than feed it. The next thing, this is again specific to the job search, but we can also apply it if you are in a specific company and you're looking for a next role. What is the position you want, right? And they're not 10,000 positions that you want, right? Specify 2 to maximum 3 positions that you want to target. What are they? Get specific. Get very, very specific. If you aren't sure, do the research. Go online. That's why we have Google. You can Google everything nowadays, right? Google it. See what's on the market. See what different positions are there. What are responsibilities for these different positions? If you have a specific company in mind, you can go to their specific website. See what language in the company they have. What kind of positions, you know, what is kind of the, how can I say, what is the structure of those positions really within the company? Do the research if you aren't sure. How can you, whenever, okay, this is another thing that I want to point out. Whenever your mind starts going into, I don't know, you want to stop that, because there is a way to figure it out. You just need to challenge yourself to find a way to figure it out. I don't know is a lazy answer, because again, it doesn't require any effort. You don't know, so bye, I don't know. Right? So we want to dig deeper. When my clients tell me I don't know, I'm like, no. Let's figure it out. So I'm doing exactly the same with you now. Let's figure it out. If you aren't sure of something, if you're really like, I really don't know, write it in comments below. Let's figure it out together. Let's see how you can come to I know. Or even maybe I cannot know 100%, but I'm willing to try. So what can you try? Anyway, going back to positions, what positions do you want? Specifically 2 to 3. All right. The next thing, what do or don't I want next, right? Knowing what you want is equally important as knowing what you don't want, right? So write down the things. What is it you want in the new role? What kind of manager? What kind of team? What kind of company? What kind of position? What kind of responsibilities? What kind of days off? What kind of job structure? What kind of everything? Write it all down. Write all of your ideas down for what you do want and for what you don't want. Again, more specific, more clear you are in your mind, more clearly will you be able to communicate that with others, and more will others be able to help you. If you aren't sure on what you want, how can someone help you get what you want, right? So you need to figure ways to get what you want. I mean, to get clear on what you want, okay? Or if you don't know how to get clear on what you want yourself, you might find help. That's why coaching, for example, is amazing, right? Because coaches, indeed, I mean, this is what I do with my clients, right? They help them gain that clarity. And sometimes we're just so caught up with our stories that we just don't see the way forward. And that's why somebody like a coach or like a mentor or like whoever is professional and equipped to help you could be of a huge, huge help for you. I also have my coach. It's not that I have things figured out all the time. That's why continuously working on yourself is so very important. All right, let's move on. Your passion, your enjoyment, what do you love to do? What kind of lights you up? What are you passionate about? Think about your job now. Think about your previous jobs. Think about your future goals. What is it that that you're so like, oh, I want to do that. I'm happy about it. I have fun while doing that. I enjoy doing that. I see time flies by when I'm doing it. What are these things for you? Write them all down. Okay? All right, let me see if I didn't all right, yeah. And now the next thing that would be relevant for the job search specifically, but also again, even if you're not looking for a job specifically, would be to update your CV and update your LinkedIn profile, really to see how, after you've done this thought work, this pre-application work, how much of that information is on your CV or is on your LinkedIn or is presented on any professional document or platform that you really have. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions about this specific process. As I've said, I'm gonna upload the checklist, the job application checklist, which again, you wanna see, you wanna think about, even if I'm not looking for a job now, how can I apply this in my specific situation? What I always emphasize on, and you have probably heard me saying this many, many times, no matter what material you're consuming, ask how can that be applicable to your specific situation, right? You can always reuse it. Any kind of material can really be used or reused for many, many different purposes. So you want to think about how can this be applicable to me, all right? And to gaining new perspectives and to expanding my views and to growing and to challenging myself and to creating new goals for me, next steps. You always want to be asking these kind of questions. All right, so feel free to comment below. Let me know what you think. If you need any further assistance with this, if you would like to get customized support on this, let me know as well. We can have a chat about that and see how I can support you. Otherwise, I thank you for watching and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, now I need to figure out how do I stop. Okay, bye.